Shalom. Over the past few weeks, a number of our brothers and sisters, and also family members of brothers and sisters, needed medical care. Not everybody was infected with COVID. Some were, but there were some who needed surgery for a more serious medical condition. We have been keeping everybody in prayer, and we thank the Lord for His abiding presence with each of them and their families. You know, it gives me great joy to say that we have been united together in ministry one to another. I must say that I personally had hoped to be able to visit each person at the hospital to pray with you. But COVID-19 has given us restrictions, and so we've been praying, we've been doing battle in prayer wherever we are. There is great power in prayer because prayer allows us to touch the throne of grace, to bless that which happens on earth. When all else seems to be dark, prayer helps us to learn to trust in Jesus Christ. Faith is most evident in a crisis. Crisis and troubles stretch our faith. Mark 9. The story tells us of Jesus healing a boy with evil spirit. Now it starts off with Jesus. By the time he comes to this little group of people, his disciples have been trying to evict this evil spirit without much success. The boy was still convulsing, throwing himself on the ground, hurting himself. Now I'm a father myself. I know exactly how the father, this boy's father, felt. To see your own son in this condition, to see that you cannot do anything, the feeling of helplessness, the pain, the inability to make things better. So in verse 22, the father puts a plea to Jesus Christ. But if you can do anything, take pity on us and help us. But if you can do anything, isn't there quite a bit of doubt? Maybe he had seen the disciples not being successful, and then he wasn't too sure about what Jesus could do. In verse 23, Jesus answers with a rhetorical question. If you can, of course I can. All things are possible. The question is, do you believe I can? Now here's a difficult question for the father. How much can I trust you, Jesus? How much can I believe? You see, he must have tried many other healers and doctors. He even must have been close to giving up hope. I can see him bringing up his hand slowly to show Jesus. Jesus, I do believe, but I can only believe this much. I'm sorry, Jesus, that's all I can believe. But what's most interesting was that he added this phrase, help me to believe more. Help me to trust you. He's trying to tell Jesus, Jesus, help complete my belief. Bring my belief to completion. Now, I don't know how we can quantify faith. Is there a scale of 1 to 10? But I think Jesus was just looking for faith. Faith out of desperation, faith out of care and concern, faith out of love. But just faith in Him. And faith, even if it is the size of a mustard seed, that's good enough. Just faith. And you know the rest of the story. Jesus rebukes the evil spirit and drives it out of the boy. Now, when we hear words like cancer, emergency surgery, needing oxygen, our faith can be shaken. A sister in the Lord shared with me that when she heard the word cancer, right there at the clinic, she just felt darkness covering over her. It was as though she was sucked into a dark cave. Sometimes we pray and look for answers from Jesus. Oh, that Jesus, you would heal me. Jesus, take me away from this difficult place, or take that difficult thing away from me. And we join the Father, this boy's father, in prayer. I believe this much, Jesus. Help me complete my belief. Jesus is able to heal, to put right each situation, to come and rescue us. We have seen His power over diseases and broken relationships, broken marriages, wayward children, difficult financial situations and gloomy futures, victory upon victory. But what if, in reality, sometimes we do face that there's the what if question. What if there is no healing, no turnaround of a tough condition? In Mark chapter 4, Jesus was traveling with his disciples across the Sea of Galilee. This story is very familiar to many of us. A storm suddenly whips up and the disciples are so fearful for their lives. They were afraid to die, they were afraid of drowning. But Jesus was asleep in the back of the boat. The disciples went to wake him up and he stilled the storm. Yes, this story is about Jesus having power over nature, but it is also about faith, or how little faith the disciples had. They had Jesus in the boat with them. Why were they so full of fear? Brings me back to our question. What if nothing happens? What if I'm not healed after praying? What if my difficult situation still remains the same? If there's a lesson for us to learn from this stormy story, is that no matter what is the outcome, Jesus is with us. His presence is our comfort, is our peace, our eternal hope. With every test, Jesus will give us a way of escape, a way out. And sometimes the way out is just to know that He's riding the waves with us. Ask Jesus to ride the waves with you. You know He's there. And sometimes we need to ask Jesus to complete our faith.